we'll start today on our seats, crisscrossing our legs nice and comfortable, and feel those sitting bones rooting down into our mats. And we'll pull those shoulders back and down, begin to open up that chest, and then really, as we inhale, expand all through our torso, into our belly, our sides, our backs, chest. A few deep breaths in and out. And we'll inhale, lifting our hands up to the sky. Again, pull those shoulders down, lift the fingers. And then exhale, let's take them over to the right. So we can lower that right hand down to our mats and reach up and over with our left. Pressing that left seat down into our mats. Then inhale, back up to the top. And exhale over to the other side. Left hand can find our mat. Reaching up and over with the right. Stacking the shoulders. Lengthening all along our side body. And then inhale back up to the top. And then exhale, let's bring those hands down in front of us. Little forward fold here. As we exhale, just let that chest fall just a little bit further. And then we'll drop the head, release the arms, and slowly help ourselves up to seated. Good. And then hands can just find a nice spot on our thighs or on our knees. We'll just do some seated cats and cows here. So as we inhale, we'll lift the chest, pull the shoulders back, open up that heart. And then exhale, we'll round, bring everything forward. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, go round, lengthen behind us. Inhale, lift. Exhale, we round. And then back to our neutral spine here. Again, let's lift those hands up high. And now we're going to turn to the right. So our right hand can find the floor behind us this time. Left hand can find the knee or outside thigh of that right knee. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we'll twist just a little bit further to the right. Maybe bring our gaze back behind. Good, and coming back to the center. Again, lift those hands up high. And then exhale, we'll go over to the left. So the left hand can find the floor behind us. Right hand, that left thigh lengthen and twist with every breath. One more breath here. And then we'll slowly come back to the center. Hands come up high. And exhale, let's reach forward, spilling all the way down into our forward fold again. And lowering the head, rounding in the spine, we'll help ourselves all the way back up to seated. We'll uncross those legs and place them out in front of us, a little bit wider than our hips. And then hands can just find a comfortable spot behind us. And we'll just use our breath as we inhale, we'll be in the center. Exhale, we'll just move those knees over to one side, a little swish. Like a windshield wiper. Inhale, we come back up. And exhale over to the other side. And back up. And exhale down. And back up. Just moving with our breath. Move around in those hips. Let's do one more to each side. Inhale, we'll come up. Exhale down, lengthening all along those legs. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale down. Good. And back to the center. Hands are behind us. Fingers are point towards our toes. Let's pull those shoulders back. Begin to lift the heart. Press into those hands. And press into our feet out in front of us and begin to lift our butt up into a reverse tabletop. And exhale, we'll come down. Good. Inhale, let's come up. We'll just move gently in those shoulders. Wake up our glutes a little bit. Exhale, we'll come down. Inhale. Open up that chest. And exhale down. Let's do that one more time. All the way up. Hold here for just another full breath. Stay for that exhale. And then slowly lower all the way down. We can even scoot that butt in between our hands. Feet are out in front of us, legs are long. Let's flex those toes, move all of that muscle out from underneath of our sitting bones, and kind of walk our butts back behind us. So now what we're doing is we're tilting that pelvis forward, and then our hands will just go to our knees. And slowly, we'll just exhale and walk our hands down into a fold. using that breath to help lengthen the spine. And reach that chest forward and then slowly sink it down a little bit further. Tiny bits is fine. Let's do one more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, lowering a little further. And then at the very tail end of that exhale, let's drop the head, drop the arms, and we'll slowly roll our way back up to the top. Good. And now let's bring that right foot in to touch inside that left thigh for Janu Shirshasana. From here, let's turn our torso toward that left leg. And again, exhale, we'll walk our way down. To help encourage that connection from our belly to our thigh, we can even bend that knee just a little bit to get those buddies attached as we fold, and then maybe we continue to try and lengthen with that attachment already made, that connection made. And we're going in the right direction. One more breath here. And drop the head again. Roll our way up to the top. And then we'll turn and face the right knee now. Gotta give everybody equal time here. Lengthen here. And what we'll do is we'll inhale, lift those hands up high. And then exhale, we're just gonna drop that left arm to the inside of that left leg. Right arm reaches up and over. Trying to keep those shoulders open instead of trying to round and look toward the floor. We're actually opening and looking toward the sky. Good, and slowly we'll come all the way back up to the top. Our right hand will find the floor right behind our butt here. We're gonna press down into this, both of our feet from here. Inhale, lift the hips, and then turn and look toward the sky, opening up nice and wide and tall, up toward the sky, opening up that chest, lengthening in our hips and in our backs. And I like to move my head around and make sure I'm not holding a lot of tension in my neck. You can drop the head if we'd like. And slowly we'll come back down. Good. Bring both of those legs out in front of us. We can even swish back and forth if we'd like. Unlock things if we need. And then we'll go over to the other side. So our right leg is nice and long, left leg tucks into that thigh. We'll turn so that we're facing this right leg, nice tall spine here. And then exhale, begin to walk our way down. Hinging at the hips as best we can. Bending the knee if we need. And slowly folding forward. Curling our fingers if we like, or walking down our leg. If we have a strap or a towel, that totally helps with our forward folds. Let's do one more big breath here. Inhale, let's lengthen in that spine. Exhale, lower down. Don't forget that millimeters is still progress. Those teeny tiny little lines on our rulers still gets us a little bit closer. And then at the end of that exhale, let's drop our head, help ourselves back up to the top. And then nice tall spine, we'll turn toward this left knee. Hands come up high, and then exhale, this time over to the right. Elbow to the inside of that leg. Left arm reaches up and either straight up to help open up those shoulders, or we can reach over. If you're super good, you could probably try and capture that toe, but look, I'm turning my shoulders. So that's not in the cards for me today. Do one more inhale. Stay for that exhale. And then we'll slowly come up. Our left hand finds the floor back behind us for stargazer pose. We'll press down into that right leg and left knee, lifting the hips up high, turning that chest up toward the sky, opening wide. And then we'll slowly lower down. Give ourselves a wiggle if we need. And then come onto our hands and our knees into tabletop. Opening up those fingers real wide. Hands and wrists are underneath of our shoulders. Our knees are underneath of our hips. Good. And then from here, let's reach out that right hand nice and long. Keeping our spine as straight as we can. No dropping or rounding. Long spine, and then we'll take that left leg back behind us. And then lower back down to our tabletop. And then left hand reaches out. And then right foot presses back. Holding that right hip down to meet the left so that I always call it the coffee cup challenge. If I stick my coffee cup back there, can I let it balance without spilling? Don't try that. It's an imaginary thing. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale, right hand, left foot. And now from here, we're going to go to a cactus arm with our right arm, and then bending the knee out to the side with the leg. And then out to the stretch. And then exhale, let's bend to the side. And lengthen. And bend. Good, lengthen. This time, instead of bending, we're going to reach back and try and find that foot with our right hand. Kick into the foot, into our hand with our foot, and lengthen. Opening up the shoulder. And chest. And that back hip. And then gently we'll release. Find our reach. And then slowly come back down to our tabletop. Let's do a cat. And we'll round. And a cow. As we arch. And back to that neutral spine. Breathe into that belly. And then we'll switch sides. So left hand, right foot. Again, coffee cup challenge. Pressing that heel back behind us. Reaching the fingers. Finding our balance. Strengthen our core. And then when we're ready, we'll exhale and bend to the side so the knee comes out like a puppy at the fire hydrant. Elbow comes to our cactus arms. And then inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we bend. Inhale, we lengthen. And lengthen. And now this time, let's reach back, find that foot. Turn the hip down, lift the heart. Kick into the hand with the foot or the ankle. And gently we'll release. Back to our stretch. And then down to our tabletop. Again, let's do a cat and a cow. Good, and then we'll just soften those feet, bring our hips all the way back to our heels. Arms come out in front of us for child's pose. Toes are together, knees are wide. With that breath, we can let the chest sink down in towards our mat. Good. And now let's inhale back up to your tabletop. We'll lift up our left hand to the sky. And then exhale, we'll thread the needle, bringing that left hand all the way through underneath the right, placing the shoulder and the ear down toward the mat. And now this right hand can stay where it's at. We can reach out in front of us if we'd like and begin to walk around toward the left to open up our shoulders. We can place it on top of that left hand to kind of help open up the shoulders this way. If you would like, we can lift it up to the sky, or even try to bind by coming out around and trying to touch the opposite hip. Lots of options. Find the one that works for you today at this moment. And then slowly, we'll unwind and we'll come back to our tabletop. Get a nice neutral spine here. Inhale, we'll lift up the right hand to the sky. And exhale, we'll reach it through. Lower the shoulder down, relax the head. And now keeping our hips over our heels or our knees. We don't want to sashay them over from one side to the other. Just trying to keep those nice and neutral. Reaching that right hand. And then we have all of the options here on this side as well with our left hand. We come out in front of us and begin to walk around. We can place the hands on top of each other. Reach it up to the sky. Try and reach back for a little bind. And we'll slowly unwind and find our child's pose again. Lowering those hips, lowering the chest. And from here, we'll just begin to walk our hands backwards, placing those hips all the way onto the heels. And now tuck that tail so we're opening up behind us in that low back. And then bring the hands behind us. Lift the heart, very similar to what we did earlier. Take a couple of breaths here. Begin to tuck the tail. The more we tuck here, the more we're going to open up in the front, lengthening those quads. Now, we can lift our knees and start stretching out the fronts of our ankles too. This is good, then stay here. If you would like to challenge yourself, you can try to balance by lifting the hands up off of the floor and touch the thighs. I don't know, can we lift our hands up to the sky? Woo, that's hard. come all the way down into a rabbit so that we can release some of the pressure off of our ankles for just a little bit here. Wiggle those buddies around back there. And our next inhale will come back up. Hands find their spot back there again. Pull those shoulders back. And now this time, let's lift the hips. Lower those buddies back down. Whew. Come back up. And child's pose again, just because we love it so much. Child's pose is one of those places where it's always there for you if you ever need it. If you've been sitting at your desk for too long, or standing at your desk for too long, or in the middle of your practice if you just need a break, child's pose is there for you. Good. Let's come back up onto our hands and our knees. We'll keep our hips over our knees. We're going to begin to walk those hands out in front of us, nice and long. Chest comes to, but the hips stay over those knees as best we can. And then we'll begin to lower the chest down, very similar to our child's pose, but this is called puppy dog pose. We can place our forehead on our mats, or we can try and place our chin on our mats. Those of you who are very, very good, you can put your whole chest on your mat. But, you know, that's completely up to you and your back. Slowly walk those hands back. Hips can find the heels again. We'll round. We can bring those arms back by our feet again for rabbit. Tuck our chin. See if we can roll up into a tight little egg here. And slowly we'll help ourselves up a little bit so that we can swish those feet over to one side. Bring them out in front of us again. Shake them out a little bit if we would like. Good. And now, from here, this one's a good. We're going to take and we're going to tuck this right leg nice and bend it really, really far and bring that knee out in front of us. And we're going to cross the left knee as close to crossing knee to knee. And then that left hip needs to come down in the direction of the floor. Give yourself that wiggle. Get those hips to relax a little bit with your breath. This is where we're at, and we are happy, or as happy as we can be. This is where we're going to stay. If not, we can also slowly lower that chest down into a little fold. Always thinking of that top side hip, working down Use that breath. Let's do one more breath here. Help ourselves back up to seated if we're not already there. Keeping our legs where they are as best we can. We're going to lift up the right hand nice and tall. Left hand is going to reach back and find the elbow. And now we're going to try to reach that spot on our back that we just try so hard to scratch by ourselves. But we have to do it without messing up our head. So that's what the left hand is going to be for, is to kind of help us find that spot here. Use that left hand to help the right arm stay where it's at. Or if you would like, you can reach back behind with that left hand. See if you can find those fingers in the back side. I personally cannot. So if you have a strap or a towel or a belt of some sort, that will help. Best thing that we don't want to do though is to push our head and mess up our neck as we're trying to do something crazy with our arms. So if this is the best that we can do, then that's where we're at. There, now let's release those arms, wiggle them out, little jazz hands action, and then we'll unwind those legs. Whew. We can shake them out, we can even do some little windshield wipers again, if that's what our body needs. Because guess what, we have another side to do, so we need to make sure that we are nice and loose to do that. So now, this time, the left leg is on the bottom. Tuck that foot, knee is out in front, right leg comes over the top. And then now we're thinking of this right hip coming down toward the floor. Good. Take a couple of breaths here, let those hips relax, use that breath. And if we would like, we can slowly move forward, keeping those hips on the ground. And then let's help ourselves up. Keep those legs where they're at is good. If we need to uncross because we're tired, we can totally do that. But if we can, stay here and lift up that left hand nice and tall. Bend the elbow, find it with the right hand. Try and scratch the back as best we can. Keeping the head straight and comfortable. If you like, we can try bringing that right hand behind. Ooh, see if we can touch the fingers. Ooh, touch! I can't hold on, but I can touch. Let's do two more breaths. Two more breaths. No big. So now we're down to one more breath. And gently Release those arms. Little wiggle. Unwind those legs. Whew. Little wiggle. Good. And then we have earned our right to lay down onto our backs. Listen, we're grown-ups, we can do that whenever we want. Let's roll up into our little egg. Hug those knees into our chest. Tuck the chin. Round in that spine. And then we'll release our shoulders and our arms down to the mat. Nice, easy spot here to the sides. Knees are still bent. We're going to take those knees over to the left. And now this right hand, we're going to come and touch the left. And then go back to its spot. Inhale, we'll come back to the center. Over here to the left, and then exhale all the way out to the right. Inhale back. And exhale out. This gentle movement. Get some mobility in our T-spine. Let's do one more. And exhale, we'll stay here in the twist. 3 more breaths. 4 more if we feel like we like it. Good. Now bring those knees back to the center. Big breath here. And when you're ready, we'll exhale. Take those knees over to the right. Same thing on this side. We'll take that left hand and we'll reach it over. We want to clap. And then exhale, we'll come back. Inhale over. Exhale, opening up. One more. Exhale, we'll stay here for 3 or so more breaths. Bring those knees back to the center. And then roll up into a little ball. Lift our feet up to the sky. And we'll hold right behind the thigh or the knee or the calf. We'll flex the feet. We can lift our shoulders just a little bit, as long as we're not crunching. Just lifting a little bit, and then slowly and gently, we'll just give them a little bit of encouragement. We bring those legs in. And now let's bend those knees, open them wide. Our hands will come to the outsides of our feet, elbows inside the knees. We'll relax the shoulder and the head. We'll find ourselves into dead bug. Now release the legs. Lower them down to our mat into a nice and comfortable spot, whether we're in a down angle or our knees are bent, feet on the floor, legs are nice and long. And then our arms hang out to our sides. We close our eyes and take these next few breaths. So we just let our bodies release and soften into our mats. And give ourselves permission to just be still. Just be for a few minutes. Mind can drift away. The body will just do what it needs to do. Deepen our breath. Begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes. We'll bring ourselves back into our space. Then we'll bring those knees down into our chest and we'll rock on over to the side. Gently help ourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Bring our hands together at our hearts. Lowering our head and bow to ourselves with gratitude for all of the gifts that we just gave us. Thank you so much for joining me, allowing me to help you through your practice today. I wish you all a very, very happy rest of your day. Fantastic week ahead. And it's always my pleasure and honor to be able to do this for all of us. The light and the divine in you recognizes and respects the light and the divine in each of you, and when we are together, whether physically or virtually, we are one. Namaste.